Welcome to Trenton today. We are at Slam and Brew once again, and it's great to be with you and alongside the mayor of Trenton, New Jersey, Reed Gusciora. And we got a lot to talk about. Let's talk first with Victor Pizziola, though, as we get going, because we want to thank Victor for hosting us here at Slam and Brew. Next month, we're going back to Trenton Central High School. This has been awesome here, and thank you so much for having Trenton today at Slam and Brew.
I appreciate it, and thank you for all the support, especially from the mayor's office and for everyone, really trying to make not only to help the business grow, but connect with the community. We're doing lots of things here to try to bring everyone back downtown, bring more events and activities so we can try to build the business down here, not just for us, but for all the establishments, right, to make this a better place.
We're going to talk about business
Sure.
growth,
Yes.
about what's happening throughout the city of Trenton. It's brought to you by Capital Health. Slam and Brew, again, big thanks for hosting the show all throughout the summer. This is our third Trenton Today here at this awesome coffee house right in the midst of Center City, Trenton. And thanks to the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office and Angelo Onifree, Haldeman Ford Subaru here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow. And Mayor Gusciora, good to have you with us. What's been going on?
Great always to be here, especially in downtown. The city is going to be investing a lot of money downtown to rejuvenate the streets, the brickwork, the sidewalks, the curbing, and that's why it's so important that businesses such as Vic get the crowds that come in, and we want to make the outside attractive as much as the inside is. As you see, the traffic goes in and out of here.
Yeah.
We just saw the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, a couple of guys walk in here for their daily fix of coffee.
Steady foot traffic. I mean, what's the key, Vic, to getting people in here and keeping that steady stream of activity happening at Slam and Brew?
So three main things. One is a great product. So the coffee has to be good and consistent every day, right? Because that's what people expect. Then when they come back tomorrow, to have the same cup of coffee they had yesterday.
Yeah, before the show, Victor was telling me how you have a 20-gallon or
28-gallon RO system.
So like water.
Filters. It takes out all the chemicals in the water and ensures that the water is perfect quality. So when we mix that with the coffee, right, the grinds and everything else, you get that quality. It's not just the coffee quality, it's the water quality. Right, and then it's the baristas that are very well trained. So we got some of the best staff. Everyone that's been here has been with us for day one. We don't have turnover. We treat everyone very well. And then to the environment, you're working in a really great environment, right? The culture's good here. It's a beautiful facility, right? And so a combination of all those things together is really what makes Slam and Brew.
Good product, good people, good environment. Slam and Brew is where we are at for Trenton today on WBCB. And we're going back to school. It's amazing that already back-to-school preparations are underway. And Mayor Gusciora, your Trenton is reaching out to families to make sure that they have school supplies and they know all the information that they need to go to get back to school and get on the good foot. I think August the 30th,
yes,
you guys have a back-to-school extravaganza.
Yeah, it's sponsored by the Board of Education and Trenton Public Schools, but it gives an opportunity for parents to get information about and meet teachers, faculty, staff,
Right.
And get a lot of information that they need to have their kids successful. And we're particularly reaching out on a bilingual basis to make sure that particularly the migrant families that are coming in, that they can adapt their children into the school system and that they can be most successful during the school year.
I think getting back to school can be extremely stressful for kids, and that's just on the regular, let alone if you have additional challenges or obstacles that you may be, like language barriers and stuff like that. So getting back to school, great to get the latest info, the back to school extravaganza, August the 30th. And here on Trenton Today, we like to let you know about events happening throughout the city of Trenton. So you can be on top of it. The other thing that's been going on, you guys have been doing city cleanups, bulk pickups. I know there was an East Ward, and coming up, the West Ward cleanup.
On the 24th.
Right,
this
that's Saturday.
Yes, so please put out your household furniture and yard waste, preferably at night before, anytime after 7 on Friday and before 7 a.m. on Saturday, and we will pick up your bulk garbage. We've been picking up about 75 tons of garbage in each of the wards.
Wow.
So we expect about 250 tons of garbage will be picked up by the Public Works Department, the hardworking Public Works Department.
The report I read was that this was something that was basically an annual tradition or an event in Trenton, and COVID knocked it out, but now it's back this year, and I don't know, I think that's something to celebrate.
Yeah, and most importantly, we're also identifying public property and alleyways that tend to accumulate trash, and sometimes they have illegal dumping. So we're removing that debris as well all during the week, setting up to the Saturday bulk household garbage pickup.
Gotcha. Beautifying the city of Trenton here as we get ready for fall and to go back to school and all this stuff. And we kick around a bunch of different ideas on the show. We've got Victor with us from Slam and Brew. And before the show, you were telling me an idea or like a concept that you have for what you would like to be happening just outside of Slam and Brew as far as delivery options that might be something that you could work with the mayor's office or try to figure out something better for customers.
Right. So what we were looking at was a potential curbside delivery. So it'll actually enable and benefit all the establishments right on these blocks is that if we eliminated these parking spots, right, and had the business owners and others park in the parking garage, we do 2-hour free parking. We were part of the TPA for that program. They could free up this lane and allow a lot more curbside delivery. Why? Because a lot of state workers come in and they're challenged with, hey, I'm afraid to park, I might get a ticket. That'll enable them to be able to come in. We can deliver curbside, so can all the other food establishments that are on the block, and be able to get them on their way, and they can park their car and go about their day. So I think it'll help facilitate more traffic coming downtown, right, and more businesses, right, obviously be able to serve the public at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, is that something that, you got to strike a balance between being able to park and also serving businesses. So these parking situations, there's limited space throughout the city of Trenton, Mayor.
Yeah, that's one thing in urban areas are the congestion parking, but yet popular places like Slamming Brew where state workers want to get the cup of coffee, police want to stop in, fire want to stop in, just general workers. So we want to be able to facilitate as much parking as possible. Short term, we don't want anybody parking long term outside of our businesses, particularly in the central downtown.
And is that, are you guys able to make some type of policy change or, I don't know, put some new signs up and let everybody know that, now we're doing delivery here and...
Yes, we want to work with the Trenton Downtown Association to get proper signage, but if we have to decrease the amount of time that you can park, that's something that's positive for the central downtown district.
But I mean, those things are like, are there zoning issues or other?
It's not zoning, it's just trying to accommodate, for instance, a restaurant down the street will want longer parking so that their customers can have a nice meal there.
Right. Balance out all of those different interests. And
yes.
Well, at Trenton today here on WBCB, we're hanging out with Victor Pizzolatto from Slam and Brew and the mayor of Trenton, Reed Gusciora. Great to have you with us as well. We're going back to school, and fall is right around the corner. In a little bit, Mayor Gusciora, I want to play the name game with you. Last time we got together, I asked you about Robert Menendez and Tammy, the governor's wife,
Murphy.
Tammy Murphy, excuse me. Oh, my
First
goodness.
lady.
and Kamala Harris. And so I got 3 new names to throw your way here when we play the name game a little bit later in the show. Again, that big cleanup in the city happening this Saturday in the West Ward. We want to make sure everybody is aware of that. And we're going to get back to some high school football on WBCB, which is always something that we look forward to. And, back at Trenton Central High School, I think we got 4 games scheduled. And Trenton Central, they're going to have night games this year, which is exciting. And I think something, again, to celebrate. For many years, Saturday afternoon football was what the Tornadoes did. And now they're going to have some under the lights Friday night games in the city of Trenton.
Yeah, we put up lights around the field. There's a great new turf field, and it's a great facility. And we want to show off the high school and inviting visitors from out of town to watch a football game.
An amazing facility. So, come on out and join all of the game day fun for Trenton Tornado football. And we'll have some of that for you on WBCB. In fact, we get our high school football coverage started this Friday night over in Bucks County. But we'll have Hamilton Township action and Notre Dame High School, of course, Trenton Central for you throughout the season on the WBCB Sports Network. You can catch all the games on YouTube. All right, hanging out with Victor and Mayor Gusciora. And Vic, not only were you saying curbside delivery, but he's got even more ideas for what might go on outside of Slam and Brew here. You were saying maybe in the fall, we'll see. You are thinking about doing like a car show and a motorcycle show, which, I don't know, kind of shut down the street and bring out the cool cars and the motorcycles and stuff.
Bring traffic.
Brings out the foot traffic.
Right. In cooperation, obviously, with the city, to be able to shut down maybe on a Saturday, right, the street, and bring in people from outside of Trenton, so they start start seeing what Trenton's all about. And then, of course, it'll help benefit not only the city, but also all the establishments. The objective here is really to bring attention, awareness to people outside of Trenton. Trenton has a lot to offer. The only way they know that is to bring them in, and we're going to entice them in with a car show, because people love to bring their nice cars, right, to shows. The same thing, I have a Harley, so bring groups of Harleys. We're not talking about gangs. We're talking about, quality people that want to come in here, take a bike ride, enjoy the food and establishments of downtown, and maybe visit the State Museum and maybe see the barracks, right? And there's a lot of history in Trenton that people maybe are not aware of that they can enjoy and participate in. So.
Yeah, no, we have a premier cycle club, the Cycle Kings, off of Calhoun. So you may want to contact them, and I'm sure they would love to come down the block. There's one of our fine, outstanding Trenton police officers coming in here for his coffee.
I already had my coffee.
We'll get another one, Tim.
Make sure everything's right.
You're just checking it out,
Very-
making sure
very safe here.
everything looks good.
I'm checking on things a little bit.
Yeah.
Have a good day, folks.
Well, I mean, Victor, officer poking his head in and checking everything out. You guys have developed really great relationships from what I've seen. I mean, limited, we're here a few times, but there's always
Police,
the fire,
EMT.
first
we've got,
some come to Slam and Brew.
like you said, the Mercer County prosecutors, that there's detectives here, there's everyone from the city, and obviously, some people from the state, we don't know who they are, but they're nicely dressed with, chauffeured sedans, so we know people from the state are probably coming in as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, we have great attendance from, different disparities within the city, which is wonderful. That's what we want to say.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, we're going to step aside and take care of a couple of quick messages. But as we do, I want to ask you a little Trenton trivia. All right, this comes from Bill Redner, who is a Trenton aficionado. And he was wondering if you could name the 2 Trenton hotels that go back in Trenton history.
Probably right on the spot. Stacy.
Yes, the
Hotel
Stacy Trent.
And the Holiday Inn.
He's got the Hildebrecht
Hildebrecht, that was even older, yes.
here as the
Yes.
the official answer on our trivia question, but I'll give you pretty much
Right
full
on-
credit.
On Route 1, yes. I mean on West State Street and intersection of Calhoun.
Well, when we come back, we want to kind of touch on the state of Trenton's economy as we are watching this national drama unfold when it comes to our next president. Want to touch on the conventions and what we've been hearing and what is next for the city of Trenton. When we return here in just a minute to Slam and Brew, it's Trenton Today on WBCB.
Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org. Merrill Reese, here to tell you about my good friends at Haldeman Ford Subaru on Route 33 in Hamilton Township. For outstanding sales and service, you can depend on the folks at Haldeman Ford Subaru for the best value on new and pre-owned Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, along with a great selection of value-priced new and pre-owned Subarus. And no one offers the service that Haldeman does in their huge, state-of-the-art service facility. Service so great that many area municipalities and commercial fleets get their service performed by Haldeman Ford Subaru. From Langhorne to Princeton, folks like you to commercial fleets trust the name Haldeman for sales and service. Haldeman Ford Subaru, Route 33 in Hamilton Township.
Hi, this is Mayor Jeff Martin of Hamilton Township, inviting you to tune in to our monthly radio show, This Month in Hamilton. Video stream live the fourth Tuesday of every month at 10 a.m. at WBCB1490.com. We will be featuring various guests from Hamilton Township to keep you up to date on what's going on in Hamilton.
Hi, this is Mercer County Prosecutor Angelo Honorfree, and I'm proud to help sponsor today's show and promote what's happening in our community. All residents of your hometown should stay involved and participate in community activities, whether it's volunteering to help make your town clean, or volunteering at the animal shelter, or helping at a local youth event. Staying involved in your community makes your hometown a great place to live. This is Mercer County Prosecutor Angelo Honorfree, and I hope you enjoyed today's show.
Hey, welcome back to Slam and Brew. It's Trenton Today on WBCB, brought to you by Capital Health, Slam and Brew, the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, and Haldeman Ford Subaru. Let's say hello to Megan. She was our co-host a couple of weeks ago. And today we have Victor with us, the owner of Slam and Brew. Great to have you alongside and talking about some business issues within the city of Trenton. Mayor Gusciora, what is the state of Trenton's economy? I mean, right now we're thinking about these national issues, and everybody says people vote based on the economy. How has Trenton benefited from this recent economic kind of boom to some degree?
Well, the good thing is that resources are in the areas, particularly with the New Jersey Economic Development Authority, Trenton Downtown Association. We also have an urban enterprise zone coordinator at City Hall. And so we give out grants and business improvement grants. We're also investing into the outside areas. We're putting up Christmas lights here, which will be a lot earlier than Christmas, but holiday lights for the season.
Again, that could help people, foot traffic, and
and businesses are blooming here. They're investing into Trenton. The station right up the block is already looking at the property next door to expand.
They have the tapas, right?
They have the tapas.
The
Yes.
tapas.
Yes, and you can get paella for one.
Nice. Well, and maybe a question that is better served up to a small business owner. So, Vic, what do you feel like the state of the Trenton economy is, and how Slam and Brew is fitting in?
Sure. Well, I mean, look, we've only been open 5 months now. We weren't in the city prior to that, so what were the economics? I can't really gauge
Gotcha.
then and now. But
Right.
what I can say is, the station opened up right around the same time as we did, right?
Yep.
There's obviously more people that I talk to that are part of the Trenton Downtown Association that are going to be opening up other food establishments. So what I'm seeing is a trajectory up and to the right of more establishments coming, right? And obviously with more establishments coming, more business. Why are people investing in downtown Trenton where maybe they didn't in the past? It's because they see a vision, a positive vision for the future. It's going to take some time. It doesn't happen overnight. But if you're investing in downtown, I invested in the building and renovating the building so we have affordable housing upstairs. And establishment here is because we see that over the next few years, things will start picking up, right? We need a few other things like hotels and stuff to accompany what we're doing, but everything's moving in the right direction. Economically, if things are not right, people will not come here and invest. And they want to invest now. Everyone wants to jump in and invest because they see things moving in the right direction.
And is your office able to track some of that progress, either with the additional foot traffic throughout the city or more vehicles moving in and out?
Absolutely. Our coordinator, economic development coordinator, Eric Maywire, often comes in, visits stores, sees what they need. We actually have an exterior grant program that a lot of businesses want to improve upon signage or spruce up their outside to attract more people, and we like to get involved in those projects as well.
I mean, each time we get together, right, we kind of deepen our relationship, but it seems like Mayor Gusciora, that's a big part of your administration, reaching out, actually engaging business owners, stakeholders on different issues and trying to find out where they are at. And so that sounds like you have somebody from the office going out and actually having one-on-one conversations with people who are dealing with the stuff, whatever it is.
Yeah, and ribbon cuttings are a very important part of that. We just opened up at a Jamaican restaurant around the corner. They seem to be doing well. And so more and more people are betting on Trenton, which we like to encourage.
Well, and you guys are doubling down here at Slam and Brew because we've been mentioning about curbside delivery maybe and the car show and motorcycle show and stuff like that. And Slam and Brew, of course, coffee, right? Great coffee here at Slam and Brew. But you guys now have the gelato. Last time we were here, we were talking about gelato coming to Slam and Brew.
Correct.
It's here.
It's here. Italian gelato.
I love gelato.
Well, the gelato itself, by itself, is great, but if you get an affogato, which is the espresso mixed with the gelato together,
I like that, yeah.
that is by far unbelievable. And yet anyone that wants to come taste a good affogato has to come here, just because of the mixture of the both, the good quality espresso with the good quality gelato as well.
I mean, Vic, with a name like Pizzolato, it must come naturally to you.
Listen, as an Italian, if you don't produce good Italian quality food and drink, well, you're in trouble, right?
Yeah, the cousins are going to come.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm no world traveler, but I did get to spend a little bit of time in Rome. And the gelato experience was mind-blowing. And still thinking about some of the coconut gelato I had, I don't know, it's just amazing stuff. It's creamy, but it's light. If you haven't had that type of experience, come on out to Slam and Brew because you're missing out.
Absolutely. Gelato is much different than ice cream. And then, yes, we're doing other things. We have the outside patio. So now we have First Fridays, right? We have the artists, local Trenton artists. They're coming out once a month. They paint, right? A mural of something that brings historical Trenton into the painting and the theme. And they're sponsored by different businesses. So New Pod City, who also does all of our marketing and branding, sponsored the first one last month. We're going to have a new sponsor for First Friday in September with a new artist and a new painting on the wall. But, the city's been helping in part and parcel with that as well, with TDA for the support of the patio and getting something downtown where some people can sit outside and enjoy the outdoors, right? It's not just a city environment. We do have a good suburban style patio that makes people feel like they're not in Trenton, but they really are, right? So it kind of takes them away.
They're a little villa in Italy, maybe.
Right. There you go, right.
Yeah, and especially as the weather is changing, more and more people want to sit outside and enjoy the cafe experience outside, and it's a pleasant surrounding when you have a mural and your close proximity to walking from work.
Yeah, and First Friday, you guys, each First Friday, this area of Trenton, a lot of foot traffic. All the businesses celebrate, have something special going on. So make it, circle the calendar for that First Friday experience in the city of Trenton.
That's Slamming Brew.
Slam and Brew, yes.
Well, for us, but we also have Taste of Trenton that's coming in,
Yes.
right? And you'll be able to go to different food establishments and actually taste the different foods and drinks that they have. And it's not just us. There's dozens of other Trenton-based food establishments that are participating in Taste of Trent. So that's something else that's coming. There'll be a sticker on all the food establishment windows throughout the city that are participating. Gives people the opportunity to see what other restaurants and food establishments are out there besides just maybe the one or two that they frequent as well. And then lastly, cigars. So we got Pappy and Company cigars. They're premier cigars that we offer up, and then you got the outdoor patio to have your cigar and maybe your affogato and coffee and whatever else is that you want to do.
Bring your own on anything else.
Absolutely.
I would say
Little brandy.
read the paper, but I think that's
There
a
you
little
go.
old-fashioned these days.
Yes.
I'm dating myself. Well, hanging out here in Trenton today at Slam and Brew, and mentioning the foot traffic down here and the car show or whatever is going on, the First Friday stuff. Recently, there was a hit and run where 3 people were injured. Fortunately, no one was killed in this event. But I'm wondering about the safety in the city of Trenton for pedestrians and what your administration is thinking about or able to do to help people navigate Trenton in the safest way possible.
Well, we're working with groups such as the East Trenton Collaborative and other neighborhood groups to make sure that there's proper signage, that speed limits are observed. We also have city patrols going out there. We try to put in traffic calming devices such as speed bumps and build outs at the corners. So we're trying to do as best we can to make sure that there's safe pedestrian foot traffic, particularly at the hot spots in the city.
I mean, some cities have opted to say, hey, we're not going to have any cars in certain sections of the city. And, this area might be one of those that would work as a pedestrian area. Is that anything that is maybe setting aside up 2 blocks or 3 blocks?
It's really difficult because we tried the boulevard concept on East State Street, and that didn't work out too well, and a lot of the businesses suffered because people still, in a transient society, still like to be able to have close proximity parking to the business establishment. So that was a failed experience, but for many, many years, East State Street was a pedestrian mall, so to speak.
Right. Now, and again, those businesses didn't thrive in that environment, so maybe tough to go back there.
Have to balance things, yes.
But you have seen that certain cities have had some success with that. And outside of pedestrians, the other issue that cities are struggling with is how to have bikes in the city. Are there a lot of bike lanes, and is that anything that Trenton could expand on and improve on?
Yeah,
is that something you hear about from your constituents?
Absolutely. We have a really vocal and active biking organization in the Trenton, and they're working with us to establish more bike lanes and have things for bicyclists to do, whether it's tours of the city and the like.
Right.
There's a big Halloween one coming up where they're going to do bike tours of the cemeteries. Just enliven the city and have activities for safely can engage in biking throughout the city.
Well, that's a big key to the success of the city of Trenton, for everybody to be able to navigate safely and to look out for each other when you are on the streets and roadways, whether you're on a bike or you're walking around or you're in a car. Just try to be as considerate as possible and Meanwhile, we will step aside, return here to Trenton today in just a little bit as we got some more stuff to kick around. All right, here's another of my Trenton trivia questions served up by Bill Redner. Can you name the local movie theaters that were right here within this neighborhood that we're in right now at Slam and Brew?
That I could not. I think that was beyond my time. I don't know. Tamika's looking like she used to go to the movie theaters.
Slam and Brew is at 24 South Warren Street. And my guy told me that one of them was the Trent, right? They had the Trent. He had the Lincoln, the Mayfair. We got a little recognition for the Mayfair. The Capitol and the Strand were all ones that he pointed out.
Way in the heyday of Trenton, yes.
And he
It's called Netflix now.
mentioned the fact that he saw the Stooges at the Strand.
Wow.
So a man of culture, Bill Redner. And we will step aside, return here to Slam and Brew for more of Trenton Today in just a little bit on WBCB.
Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org. Merrill Reese, here to tell you about my good friends at Haldeman Ford Subaru on Route 33 in Hamilton Township. For outstanding sales and service, you can depend on the folks at Haldeman Ford Subaru for the best value on new and pre-owned Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, along with a great selection of value-priced new and pre-owned Subarus. And no one offers the service that Haldeman does in their huge, state-of-the-art service facility. Service so great that many area municipalities and commercial fleets get their service performed by Haldeman Ford Subaru. From Langhorne to Princeton, folks like you to commercial fleets trust the name Haldeman for sales and service. Haldeman Ford Subaru, Route 33 in Hamilton Township.
Are you a parrot head? Not that kind. That's more like it. If you're this kind of parrot head, don't forget to check out the Denny O Polka Show every Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon right here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Hi, this is Mercer County Prosecutor Angelo Honorfree, and I'm proud to help sponsor today's show and promote what's happening in our community. All residents of your hometown should stay involved and participate in community activities, whether it's volunteering to help make your town clean, or volunteering at the animal shelter, or helping at a local youth event. Staying involved in your community makes your hometown a great place to live. This is Mercer County Prosecutor Angelo Honorfree, and I hope you enjoyed today's show.
Hey, welcome back to Slam and Brew in Trenton. As we got Trenton Today for you on WBCB, and it is remarkable that we got to go back to school, and the unofficial end to summer is pretty much upon us. Does Trenton have a shore town? Like, would you say there's a certain shore town that's like the sister or brother town of Trenton?
Well, it would be the Delaware River, so...
Your beach is on the Delaware?
Our beach is on the Delaware. We also have...
I mean, it takes maybe like a half an hour to get from here to Belmar, so I thought maybe that might be the hookup.
But people are on their own to find a favorite shore spot that they like to. I go to Asbury Park, or when I was growing up, I used to go to Seaside, and I haven't been there in a while.
I mean, Asbury Park and Belmar, the vicinity or the closeness is pretty awesome. So I don't know, I thought that might be your answer. But do you have a shore town, Vic?
I mean, pretty much the same. Asbury Park, Ocean City is actually very nice too. A little bit farther south towards Atlantic City, but whatever's conveniently accessible, because getting to the shore sometimes is challenging, right?
Particularly on the weekends.
However you can get to the beach,
However.
make it happen.
Right.
Make
Well,
it
the city
happen.
has 5 pools that are very popular, and we actually have on weekday mornings we have the water walkers that we have senior water aerobics that is quite popular.
Now, outside the pools, right, is there access to the Delaware?
I think you're pretty much on your own, but because it's an inherently dangerous waterway. A few people drowned. You read about, but I know a lot of people go kayaking in the state park up the block. I've gone tubing before, but that's again up the block beyond Lambertville.
Right, yeah, been up there. That's a good time.
Yes.
I thought maybe people be tubing right here from Trenton, but the river a little bit different down here than it is up yonder.
Yes.
All right, well, cleaning up the city on Saturday in the West Ward. We want to let people know about that. The back-to-school extravaganza on August the 30th. But the other thing that we've been talking about on Trenton today over the last number of shows is lead in the city of Trenton and making sure that parents know how to get things tested. And I saw you guys had an event where people could actually take physical objects to get tested.
Yes.
And I don't know if that is an ongoing thing. It seemed like that was like a single event.
We were actually surprised at how much people have pottery that they use for cooking or serving, and has a largely lead content. There are toys that children put in their mouths that have lead content as well. And imported candy, particularly from South America, some of it contains lead, which is quite dangerous.
I even saw on the list spices that come from outside of the United States could have lead content, which really surprised me and made me kind of look through my pantry a bit to see where everything was from.
And there are dishes and plates that people can purchase in department stores nearby, and that they contain lead. So you really have to be careful and know what to look for.
I know some of the ceramics can actually say not safe for food, so you got to look out for that. But I'm surprised that ceramics with lead stuff in it can still be sold. And I don't know.
Yeah, and a lot of it was made in Trenton in its heyday before people knew about lead content. And when the plates were broken, they just ground it into the ground. So we're excavating soil in a lot of places, a couple of parks that have remains of leaded pottery.
Well, hopefully everyone stays safe, and again, opportunities through the city of Trenton to get tested. I know part of the back-to-school extravaganza was information for parents about potentially lead contamination, so they can be aware and make sure that their children are safe. So something we want to make sure to lift up here on Trenton today. And I know there was like an op-ed that you wrote, I think, an opinion piece, basically talking about the dangers and how important it is for people to take action. As much as the city is able to say, hey, you can test, and we're making these opportunities available for you, you have to take an individual responsibility and attend those things, get tested, and make sure that people are safe within your home and family.
Yeah, we encourage folks to contact our health department to discuss about coming to inspect your walls, because a lot of the older homes have lead-based paint. Want to certainly check pipes to make sure that the internal pipes don't have lead content either.
And we want to get the lead out, but as you go through this process, are you finding that there is more? It's the paint. There's old manufacturing elements in the ground, and as you open up this Pandora's box, there's a lot there, and there's a lot for people to be cautious of and be aware of.
Yeah, and our inspectors came to look at one person's home, and this happened a few times, and then they said, "Can we go in your kitchen just to look at your serving trays and the like, and pots and pans, and they discovered that a lot of them had lead contents. So we have a whole collection of pots, pans, and dishes that we show that folks should be warned about.
All right, let's play a little bit of the name game here with Mayor Gusciora. All right, I've been watching some of the Democratic National Convention. I haven't been watching much, been flipping around, watching the Phillies a lot, so I got to admit that I'm distracted by baseball right now. But I did get to catch Barack Obama's address, and there is something about Barack Obama's captivating oration that just grabs me, and I love the man. I mean, I'm an Obama guy, but his address talked about freedom and a different concept of freedom where people really need to work together, and especially within the city of Trenton, that's a powerful notion that people need to keep in mind. Victor and I were talking about it relative to business and parking and all these different issues that, we all want to have freedom, but part of it's about respect for one another.
Absolutely, and I actually was an Obama delegate in the 2008 Democratic Convention.
Did you?
That was a thrill to go to Denver.
Did you get to touch the man himself?
I have touched the man before. Yes.
Touch the hem of his robe?
Not inappropriately, but I actually got to meet the Vice President, Kamala Harris, and that was a thrill at Mercer County Airport. So.
I mean, Michelle Obama's address also got a lot of positive reception,
yes.
and but there's something about his capacity to grab a crowd that really struck me, and it seems every time that he's behind the microphone. But just talking about a different sense of freedom and all that stuff. All right, so.
And he was such a good communicator as well. And that's why he was such a successful president, because he was able to communicate a message and to really level with everyday Americans.
All right, so our first name on the name game, not Barack Obama, it's Governor Tim Walz. What have you heard from Governor Walz? What do you know about him that gets you excited about his vice presidency?
Well, he had military experience before. I know that people say he embellished his record. I don't know. I don't quite agree with that, but he was served our country for 24 years in the National Reserves. He's also a great family man, and we got to see his family on display last night. But I think it's another one that can communicate with everyday Americans, and I think that we're going to be really pleased to see him on a national stage if they're successful.
Well, one of the things that has been kind of encouraging to me is to hear about his education background, his time as a teacher. Victor, what do you think, though, is an educator or maybe a business person is a little bit more adept to stepping into that executive type of role?
Sure. I mean, look, outside or relative to politics and what party you're part of,
yeah.
Right? Because I don't like to talk about politics and religion.
Not as a business.
No,
right,
just the theory of like, is a teacher role or is a business role kind of set you up better to step into those political roles?
I think you need a combination, a little combination of both, right? I mean, as a teacher, you have certain traits or attributes that are important for the role, but the country is a business, just like I'm running the country is a business. You need to have some good business skills to be able to manage, right, what's going on in the country, to be competitive, to be able to manage the economy and put us in a better position. So.
Yeah, I do think those business leaders have more of a tendency to be those that we recognize as political leaders, and we'll see how this election shapes up as we get a little bit closer to it. Thank you for your thoughts on Governor Walz. All right, how about an Olympic sensation, Snoop D-O-double-G? Did you get to see some of the Olympics, Mayor Gusciora, and any of the Snoop Dogg commentary?
Yes, it was entertaining, but I think that people were really fascinated by this year's Olympics. And a lot of underdogs and a lot of emotion. and a lot of superstars on the stage. And I think France was a wonderful venue, from Celine Dion's reappearance on the Eiffel Tower right to the closing ceremonies.
Yeah, I guess the other thing too, Victor, when it comes to Snoop, is just the turnaround when it comes to perception with him. How he was embraced by the United States throughout this whole thing. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. Musicians, celebrities play a big part, right? They're mentors. Kids look up to them, right? So when they do the right thing, I think people appreciate that. And I think we've seen some turnaround on that side of the industry with the U.S.
Well, I'm still not sure about Snoop Dogg carrying the Olympic torch, but to have him part of the broadcasting was a thing, and certainly a memorable part of this Paris Games. All right, here's...
People are wondering whether Taylor Swift will show up in Chicago tonight, so stay tuned.
Oh, is that right?
Well, she just finished her European tour yesterday, so she does have time to fly back over, and I know that the other side had claimed that she endorsed them, and I think she could set the record straight tonight.
Well, anybody who thought that Taylor Swift was endorsing Donald Trump, I think was a little bit off.
Yeah, well, it started right with number one there.
Oh, my goodness. All right, we're going to step aside. We got to take care of one final break here before we return to Slam and Brew and wrap things up here with Mayor Gusciora. Back
we
to
have
school
the fire
events.
the great Trenton Fire Department coming through as well. So thank you for your service.
Here's another trivia question for you. Not Trenton related, but New Jersey related. How about the only New Jersey resident to become president?
That would have been Grover Cleveland.
Yeah, I thought you would get that one. That's good. That's good. Mayor Gusciora.
And his birthplace just got a federal grant to spruce up the birthplace for our quincentennial celebration in 2 years.
Oh, I forgot my third name of the name game. Actually, this is two names from Bill Redner. All right. How about Art Holland and Carmen Armenti, two former Trenton mayors?
Back-to-back mayors. Carmen Armenti was served right after Art, or actually in between Art. Carmen won, and then Art came back 4 years later.
Are there still things that, like, from their administrations that you kind of legacy stuff that they have still within the city of Trenton? I mean, time goes by pretty quickly. Or you're going back to the 70s.
Yeah, Armenti was associated with Chambersburg and the Italian restaurants, and Art Holland, he did a lot with the parks and the expansion of social services in the city.
So you still see their fingerprints in those areas?
Yes.
All right, well, we're going to step aside and return here to Slam and Brew in just a little bit, hanging out with the mayor of Trenton, Reed Gusciora, and Victor Pizzolatto here from Slam and Brew. We're back in just a moment.
Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org. Merrill Reese, here to tell you about my good friends at Haldeman Ford Subaru on Route 33 in Hamilton Township. For outstanding sales and service, you can depend on the folks at Haldeman Ford Subaru for the best value on new and pre-owned Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, along with a great selection of value-priced new and pre-owned Subarus. And no one offers the service that Haldeman does in their huge, state-of-the-art service facility. Service so great that many area municipalities and commercial fleets get their service performed by Haldeman Ford Subaru. From Langhorne to Princeton, folks like you to commercial fleets trust the name Haldeman for sales and service. Haldeman Ford Subaru, Route 33 in Hamilton Township.
Opinions matter, and so does yours. Hi, I'm Joe Fabrizi, inviting you to join us every Monday at 1 p.m. for Opinions Matter, right here on 1490 AM WBCB. Opinions Matter is now live streamed at WBCB1490.com. We want to hear from you because your opinion does matter.
Hi, this is Mercer County Prosecutor Angelo Honorfree, and I'm proud to help sponsor today's show and promote what's happening in our community. All residents of your hometown should stay involved and participate in community activities, whether it's volunteering to help make your town clean, or volunteering at the animal shelter, or helping at a local youth event. Staying involved in your community makes your hometown a great place to live. This is Mercer County Prosecutor Angelo Honorfree, and I hope you enjoyed today's show.
All right, back to Slam and Brew. The Back to School extravaganza for Trenton happens on August the 30th, so check out that event. We're hanging out with Mayor Reed Gusciora and Victor Pizzolatto, having some coffee and talking about some Trenton history. And Vic, were you saying you saw a documentary or like
Netflix documentary on the Revolution, but also the turning point in the battles, which really were Trenton, right? The Trenton battle was like the turning point. George Washington was on the run, right? He got beaten in New York, and then he came down to Trenton, and that historic crossing of the Delaware really kick-started, the transition change, which was amazing.
And we talk a lot about that Revolutionary War history and War of Independence and the role that Trenton played there, and the barracks and all the great history sites that you can see here. But there's Trenton also has a history, like the architecture, the city itself, outside of just the Revolutionary War stuff, that deserves some recognition, I think, and really kind of gets lost. We think, history, that happened in the 18th century or whatever, but throughout the history of Trenton, I mean, you look at the Roebling wireworks and those types of things, like there's a lot to be preserved and celebrated within the city outside of just the turnaround of the War for Independence and all that, Washington's crossing and everything.
Many people don't realize that the Golden Gate Bridge and the Brooklyn Bridge wouldn't have been built other than parts coming from Trenton.
And that's the
We
Roebling.
built the steel cable wires, both for San Francisco. And in fact, if you go to the Golden Gate Bridge, they have a cross-section of one of the cable wires, and they have a plaque celebrating Trenton's participation.
Is that building still preserved? I mean, are there elements there that... One of the great parts of Trenton Central High School, and we will be going back there next month for Trenton Today. Looking forward to that. And typically we get joined by a student, and when they redid Trenton Central High School, they preserved quite a bit of the original architecture, and there's almost a little bit of, not a museum, but a number of different displays that highlight, kind of the development, the evolution of Trenton Central High School.
Yeah, actually you can see a lot of the parts from the original school that was built in 1931, and unfortunately the building couldn't be saved, but they were able to take columns and
artwork,
murals, and incorporate them into the new school's design.
Well, one of the things we do here on Trenton Today is lift up the history, the arts, the culture here within the city of Trenton. We do so with the help of Mayor Gusciora, and sometimes we get some guests joining us as well. Next week, back to our Trenton Central High School guests. But it is the culture and everything. I mean, that's kind of what you guys are trying to develop and be a part of, right? I mean, everybody working together.
Absolutely. Right. Running a business is no different than running the city, just at a smaller scale. You got to have the right people. Everyone has to communicate and collaborate and have the same vision as, the leadership, so they can make improvements, right? They can accomplish objectives, and they can best serve the community. That's what we're doing here, right? But we're a local business, right? And if we can replicate that across the city, have an amazing place, right?
Yeah.
All participating and working together.
Absolutely. All right, before we let you guys go, August is National Wellness Month. And I'm wondering, within the city, what are some opportunities that residents have to stay active? I mean, in my neck of the woods, some of the parks have these, almost like a gym. It's an outdoor gym, and you can do calisthenics and stuff like that. that certainly seems to be, I know that we've talked about the parks here and all the opportunities that people have to stay active.
Well, we do have a program in the parks on Saturday mornings. They have aerobics in Cadwallader Park near the pavilion. We also have the 5 pools. We have senior programs. We offer seniors in the recreation centers themselves and all the senior centers. We offer activities for them, and we try to engage as much as we can to have things to do in the city.
And we've talked foot traffic and bicycling throughout the city. Do you think that's, even with all of the things that are in place right now, that's something that more energy needs to be kind of placed into? I think that preventative element to health and wellness is so important. Getting people active and moving every day keeps them healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'll see the wharf is coming back that is by Cooper's Riverfront, so that fishing pier is going to spring back to life. It's taken longer than expected, and that's because of just engineering challenges. But it will be neat to see that coming back to life in a couple of years.
Well, I love that kind of creative thinking when it comes to getting people outside and fishing or whatever kind of outdoor activities, because that really does keep you going and keep you moving and keep a city, an area healthy.
To add on so the mayor and the city are doing a great job, especially with the Cadwallader programs. My girlfriend actually teaches Zumba, so she's been participating in those sessions as well. But we're going to try to bring a Zumba little dance party to the patio.
I'm a Zumba man.
You are?
Yeah.
Then you're going to be part of the
Mayor
program.
Gusciora, you Zumba?
No, I can't say I have.
Oh, there's a first time for everybody.
We're going to make you part of the dance program.
All right, okay.
Well, I mean, that's going to be. We're here at Slam and Brew, and just behind the camera is a patio, and they're going to have First Friday out there and maybe a Zumba class.
Zumba, yeah.
Zumba class, outdoor movie
Stationary
session.
biking.
Oh,
Right,
yeah. Vic, you mentioned something at the break that one of the companies that you are a part of is able to have these mobile TVs that can roll out into different places.
Correct.
And like for a high school football team or something like that, they can look at the highlights of the previous game and stuff, break down film. But you guys are going to have something like that in the patio,
Correct.
a movie night for kids?
Correct. And we're going to work through the city to try to coordinate those activities so we get the message out and we got a good turnout.
Nice.
Right?
Nice. All right, well, guys, thank you so much for hanging
Always a
out today.
pleasure.
Always a good time. And we hope we let people know a little bit about what is happening through Trenton, in Trenton today, around Trenton today, with the help of Capitol Health, Slam and Brew, the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, and Haldeman Ford Subaru. Big thanks to Brienne O'Neill, our video engineer, always does a great job, to Bill Redner, our executive producer, for putting the show together, to Mayor Gusciora, and to Victor Pizzolato for hanging out and being part of the thing. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you as well.
Good to be here.
Next month, we go back to Trenton
Back to
Central
the
High School.
yes.
And so another thank you to Victor and everybody at Slam and Brew, to Megan, to all the baristas. It has been awesome. Thanks for helping us make this our home for the summer.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Next time, Trenton
you,
Today
Vic.
continues on WBCB.
Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Mayor, take care.